Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
So Giovanni, before we get started, I have to let you know that the MCKRE team has something called Bagel Fridays, where anyone who is working in the office on Fridays places an order through your Moorhead location, and everyone enjoys a Giovanni's bagel on Fridays, and that is hysterical. It's called Bagel Friday. We do it every week,
Bagel
so
Friday.
it's the best. And then, of course, with our team meetings and stuff like that, we love getting Giovanni's as a little treat.
I know.
The best.
Yeah. Giovanni, I want to know, what is your favorite bagel order? What do you get?
That's a loaded question for me. My favorite bagel is technically not on the menu. It's a
Ooh.
kind of like a lucky if you have it. So I love a plain bagel. So when we bake the bagels, we bake them on trays, and one of the bagels is always dark. And somehow, once I see it, I grab that bagel right out of the oven. I cut it in half. I put butter on it, and it's like heaven. I can't even explain. So if you ever ask my cousin Tom, he'll hook you up in Moorhead or an Emerald or Dawn Emerald Dial. Or could they like I said, just tell them to make it a little darker than normal, cut it in half, throw some butter on it, and it's like heaven.
But it's all about the timing, it sounds like. It has
Yep.
to be coming out of the oven. You have to be at Giovanni's right at the right time to
Oh,
grab. We should name that bagel something. Is it called, do you guys call it anything, or is it
this
just
the lucky bagel.
No, I wish, and it's so funny that like you said, it's like customers come in and I have customers that come and says the cheddar come out of the oven, and when we say no, she goes, well, when the next batch comes out, let me know. I want the next batch.
I
And we
love
have, and then it's just like right out of the oven, especially with the dart. It's so much better than toast. It's just I can't even explain it. It's something you guys have to try.
Giovanni, you're killing me.
that's
This is making me
starving.
so hungry.
I know.
Okay, you guys, I'm so sorry. We got right into talking to Giovanni and did not introduce him. So we are so happy this morning that we are here with Giovanni, who owns Giovanni's Bagels. They have locations in Moorhead, in Swansboro, in Newbern, and what they're in the process of doing in their Newbern location is also of partnering. They've got this really cool concept. It's Gemelli's, right? Where
Yes,
they've got where they've got pizza. What else is on the menu at Gemelli's?
we have. Oh my gosh, it's all Italian. So just so you guys know, when you see a panini in there, it's not a panini press. So in Italian, panini means sub. So a lot of people miscommute. So when you hear the word panini in an Italian restaurant or Italian, it means sub. So we do have Italian style subs. We do have an Americano style sub, but we have homemade pasta, homemade pizza, strombolis. Everything is homemade, including the bagels, and the recipes are all family recipes that been in circulations for many years. And I met Piero Pasquale, owner of La Casetta, out of luck, and we decided, says, hey, why don't we join ventures and come up with this concept? And I tell you something, I don't think there's anywhere else that has bagel pizzas or what we're doing, and including an Italian deli.
Okay, this is so cool. So let me back up for just a second because also I forgot to say Emerald Isle.
Yes.
So as far as Giovanni's Bagel locations, we've got Emerald Isle, Swansboro, Moorhead, Newbern are all places you can get Giovanni's Bagels. So in Newbern, you have a joint venture with this fella who owns La Caseta, which is an extremely popular Italian place in Newbern, right? And you can have kind of this fusion of the best offerings from both of you guys. And I love the fact that you mentioned, Giovanni, that can you tell me his name one more time, your partner in Jabelli's?
His name, I even have a hard time saying his last name, but his name is Piero. If you go to Newbern and say Piero, he's loud. It's and we actually look like brothers. Just he's a little shorter than me, but yeah, like I said, I feel like we're family. He comes to my Emerald Isle shop all the time, and he told me, he says he loves bread, and he said my bagels are the only bagels he'll ever eat because Italians and bread are, I'm not gonna lie, we're a little snobby with bread, like most Europeans. But like I said, it's we do it out of love. It's all for the community, the customers and the employees.
It's so cool. And y'all's families are from similar location. Is that right? Did you say Sicily?
Yes, he's from Palermo and I'm from called Maldiga. And the cool thing is we actually named some of the sandwiches. So There's a sandwich named after me. You could either get a hot Giovanni or a sweet Giovanni. It's great. It's great for more. It's like when people come in, well, do you want the hot Giovanni or the sweet Giovanni? And I look at and they look at me like, and by the way, I'm Giovanni. And they're like, wait a minute. And then we have one called Maldiga. And surprisingly, Maldiga, not a lot of people know where I'm from, is known for chocolate. I didn't even know that. Yeah, and he's from Palermo. So we decided to name the names from between his kids, me, him, and it just, we wanted to bring a touch of home.
I love that.
Well, my last question about that. I'm sorry, I'm hogging all the questions.
I love
but it's about food, and I get really amped,
Yes.
Giovanni. So, is there any chance that at some point we might get some of that Gemelli's combo, where we also have the pasta and the pizza and all that here in the Moorhead area? Maybe someday.
We're talking about it. We were talking about it yesterday, and we're going to be looking for a location in Moorhead. We want to. The best thing is that, you know, we didn't expect it to run. I mean, everybody has hiccups, but it is running very smooth compared to starting up. And it's like I said, it's like we've been doing it for 3 months now. And the customers of New Bern are just so warming. And we know that the customers of Moorhead are so warming too. And they keep on asking my cousin Carla when. And she's just, I love her over there. She really gets the customers love her. And so we decided we just need to find the location and pinpoint a time.
So
Amazing.
if someone's watching and you know of a location, please let Giovanni know, because we selfishly want a Gemelli's here in Moorhead. So that's great to know. So Giovanni, let's go back all the way to the beginning, to when you opened your first Giovanni's location here on the Crystal Coast. If you could let us know which one that was and kind of the story behind it. What made you get started with Giovanni's Brooklyn Bagels?
So it was an accident. When we were here back in 2013, we used to go to a local bagel shop and a coffee shop bagel, and it wasn't really a bagel shop. He's more of he likes to call himself a coffee shop that sells bagels, and his bagels were great. It reminded me of home. And we moved away to Japan, Illinois, and then we loved the area, so we came back to Emerald Isle. And I noticed that he became popular and he was selling out like crazy. So I said, you know what? I called my dad up and I said, Dad, what's the recipe from our shops in South Florida and Staten Island? Well, he gives me the recipe for a 100-pound bag of flour. And I had a 5-quart KitchenAid. So I had to do a math, dummy it down. And I tried it. And my wife goes to me and says, babe, this is amazing. And I said, can't say it on camera, but yes. So I said, you're just saying this to make me feel better, you know? She goes, no, I swear. So I went to family and friends, and they said, this is great. So I said, all right, I really have to get. So I went to Island Pet Adventures. They were my very first customers, technically. I had them try it. They looked at me like, I want a dozen right now. So I made them a dozen. And then from there, I got my food truck. I had to wait for the food truck. So once the food truck came, I went to coffee shops and wholesaled them. And I met a good friend of mine, Ryan Ayers. He looked at me and says, Gio, this is too good to pass up. You got to come into my location, and you have to do bagels. And from there, we just kept on expanding. And I went to the travel park. The kitchen I literally turned the living room into a kitchen at the travel park. That's what, yeah. And we needed to expand, and we needed a location. And dumbfound luck, a friend of mine said, hey, Gio, there's a location in Emerald Isle that used to be a murder law office. He's leaving because his daughter's graduated. So why don't you come check it out? I checked it out. The location wasn't the greatest because it's in a back hallway. But I says, you know what? My mother always taught me nothing's impossible until you do it. Sorry, a little choked up, but it was great. It was meant to be.
I love that.
That's so cool. And now look at us. Now we get our own Moorhead location. I love this. This is so cool. You guys, if you have not had one of Giovanni's bagels, you need to do yourself a favor.
They're so good. They're so good. And Giovanni, will you, before we ask you our final question, Will you share kind of, I know you guys do catering and you guys do larger
Yeah.
bulk orders as well for folks who might, have a team meeting or have an event or, getting ready for their wedding in the morning or something like that where they want several bagels. Can you talk about how people can place those larger orders?
Oh yeah, we honestly, we could handle almost any order you throw at us. White Oak Elementary School, love them to death. Every year they do something for the teachers. I donated a couple times to them. We do between 100 and 200 bagels for their teachers. Mr.
Wow.
Pearson told us the other day too. Every year he gets 100 bagels. We've done several weddings. We had one family get engaged here, or one couple got engaged here, and we catered them. As long as we know a day in advance. And
Okay.
I'm gonna be honest with you, I had one family reunion, over 100 people. They reserved me exactly a year and 5 days in advance.
That's how good you are.
I love that. They wanted to make sure they were going to have those bagels.
I love
That's
that.
good.
So
That's really good.
we're gonna put your website in the comments. I know there's a button for catering and stuff like that where people can learn more and place their orders too. So we'll put that in the comments so people can easily click over and learn more about y'all.
I know we did such a fun. I wonder, can we link back to that? We did a post recently that was everybody on our team. It was their bagel order.
Yep, for Bagel Friday. We tagged you. I think that's how we connected.
Yeah,
but
we need to put that in there because you guys
Yeah.
might need some ideas about
So
what to
good.
order. Yeah,
agree.
great. Well, you want to ask Giovanni the final question?
I would love to. Giovanni, we ask all of our guests on Coffee with MC. Should we call it Bagels with MC today?
Oh my God, let's do.
Anyways,
Except for I don't have a bagel.
me either.
Okay.
We ask all of our guests this question, and we are curious what has been saving your life lately.
What saved my life? My kids, my customers, my employees. A lot of people don't know this, but back in, I can't remember what year, I almost lost everything. One of the people that I hooked up with, I almost went under, and I had to take out a loan just to keep my employees going, and I couldn't let my family down, my kids. I couldn't let my customers down. I have so many kids and employees that look up to me. That I knew if I stopped, they would not given up, but I gave them a false sense of hope. And I don't normally pray for myself, and I prayed for strength. And my mother voice got in my head, and she's still alive, yes. And I said, I gotta pull through, and I pulled through, and I tell you something, I'm a firm believer, and things are meant to happen, and people are meant to connect. And my cousin Carla came down. It was the first sign that showed that I gotta go. So we created Moorhead. Then Swansboro, and the people, the customers, the families. I don't know if anybody knows this, but names I try and remember, but I have over 1,000 orders remembered in my head from customers who've been coming to me for 5, 6 years, 7 years. And if nobody believes me, you could ask those customers too. It's like, and a few of them throw me off when they order something different, but it's this community is what saved my life. Emerald Isle, Moorhead, Swansboro, and now New Bern saved my life.
Amazing. It's so much more than what you're
Great answer.
serving. Yeah, you've created a community.
Sorry for being, it gets to me a little bit. So
I think it's amazing. No, I think it's so amazing how connected you are to what you're doing and the people that you're doing it for.
Absolutely.
Wonderful.
It is.
Thank you, Giovanni.
Yes.
We really appreciate it.
We will be popping in later today, most likely for Bagel Friday.
That's right. Have a great weekend.
Thank you,
We
Giovanni.
appreciate it.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Bye. Oh my gosh, he's so lovely.
Man,
I loved that.
that is really, really good.
I know, and I'm really craving a bagel.
Okay, so I think that in place of what's saving our lives today, we should tell what our bagel order is.
Okay. Do you have yours ready?
I'm gonna go with, this is what, Chip always, my husband always orders like the simplest things and they're always actually really, really good. Whereas I try to overcomplicate things,
Sure.
So I'm gonna highly recommend a plain bagel toasted with veggie cream cheese.
Ooh, you can't go wrong.
I mean, you can't. It's so good there.
That sounds so good.
Okay, what's yours?
Mine is it's a Asiago bagel, but I asked
Ooh.
them to dig it out a little bit because for some reason, whenever I eat a bacon, egg, and cheese or something like that, I feel like
too much.
the bread overpowers the inside, but I
Okay.
love the crusty outside. Okay, so they dig it out a little bit, and then I just do egg and cheese because the bacon, when I love bacon, but when I bite into it, it's hard to like,
That makes so much sense.
Yeah.
What kind of cheese is it?
Oh gosh, which one does Chip not like?
Chip only
Melted.
He only likes melted American. You
Okay.
guys, I live with this person. He doesn't do any melted cheddar.
I like melted cheddar. I think that's what I normally get. I just say cheese.
Okay. I've become like very sensitive to what types of cheese people eat.
But you guys, on a bacon, egg, and cheese or an egg and cheese or whatever, what else do you get other than cheddar?
Please comment below.
Chip, please comment below.
Thank you. Happy Friday, everybody. Go enjoy some bagels this weekend. Thanks for joining us. Bye.